Do you have flowers you wish you could keep forever? Well, today I'm going to show you how I turn pressed flowers into stained glass art that you can cherish forever. And guess what? It's not as hard as it looks. In fact, it's probably one of the easiest pieces into stained glass you can get. And I'm going to show you all the tips and tricks I learned through making this piece here. So let's get to it. We need to pick us some flowers. And right now, the wild roses are in the tail end of their season. I have picked a ton of them over the course of the last 2 weeks, but for content purposes, I will sacrifice myself for some more. The mosquitoes are plentiful and waiting to feast on my delicious body. So, you're welcome. Thank you, late bloomers. Thank you. I really want this one, but my goodness, look at that thing living in there. Nope. Like many of you, I don't have the patience nor the time to wait for flowers to sit in books and dry. There is a better and quicker way to do this, and it involves the microwave. So let's go to the kitchen. Here what I'm doing is I'm just cutting off the leaves, and there's going to be one more trick that we're going to have to do. With these flowers, they have this big bulb on the back, and that needs to be cut down to dry them, or it will never dry and be far too thick to fit sandwich in between the glass. So what I do is I just cut it off like this, and I try to get as much off of there as I can. See that? So I have them laid down all nice and flat on a paper towel with the texture side down. That is important, or you will end up with paper towel imprint on the flower itself. We don't want to do that. I'm going to take some parchment paper, fold it in half. It helps absorb some of that moisture. And we're going to take another paper towel, making sure all of these flowers are nice and flat. I'm going to place it down over the top of them. Take a heavy glass plate or bowl or whatever you have and place it on the top. And then we're going to place it in the microwave for 30-second intervals. Now I repeat this step about 2 or 3 times. It just kind of depends on how the flowers do and how much moisture was in them. You want to get them to the point where they feel like paper. You want to just take a peek at them and see how they're doing. Make sure they're not browning. They are still cool to the touch. So if they feel like wet and cold, that means they are not done yet. So I'm going to put the paper towel back on them and put it in for another 30 seconds. And one more thing, if it feels like these consistently are not getting any drier, I usually replace the paper towel on top. And remember, flat side, no patterns. And now all the flowers are dried. Took about 3 rounds of 30 seconds. I usually let them cool down in between so that they don't burn, because they can get brown around the edges or around the center. But look at that, they are nice and papery and no moisture. It is very, very, very important that there's no moisture in the flower whatsoever, because once you put them in the glass, it can create the moisture inside the glass. And once you solder it, there's no going back. Quick tip. Sometimes the greens in the drying process get a little washed out, and even the flowers. If that happens, you can take pastel pans or even pastel chalks and scrub it on a piece of paper. Take a paintbrush and just touch up your flowers, make them look vibrant and pretty again. I'm not going to do that right now because I am strapped for time. I have all of my flowers ready to go. The only thing we need is a template for cutting out our glass. I am going with the classic raindrop because, well, upper corner, Pacific Northwest. What other shape should I use? We're all about the rain. So most commonly people use just plain clear glass. Usually it's just framing glass because it is thinner. It's much thinner than what you would get from any piece of stained glass. I love me some color because I'm a stained glass artist. For this piece here, I use the Wismac, it's Wismac 69, I believe. Nice. I went to the glass store the other day and picked me up a giant sheet of it. I am getting ready to do a pop-up market, and I will talk more about that at the end of the video. But that is my backing glass. And then for the front, we are just gonna use some regular framing clear glass. I have my templates printed out. I just drew these up in Procreate and then printed them off. I laminate everything. It helps, even if I just glue them down, it keeps everything uniform, but you want your pieces to be exactly the same because, well, of course, you're going to be putting them right together and sandwiching your flowers into them. Another thing you're going to need is copper foil. I am going to patina this black. I usually do everything in black. So I needed black backed copper foil, 1/2 inch. There it is. Because I like talking about glass so much, I also picked up 2 other colors. I picked up this gorgeous light blue that I think will go good with some daisies. It's very much daisy season right now. And this one I think was Spectrum. And I picked up another Spectrum glass, this light purple, that I also think will go well with some daisies and ferns and all the gorgeous things. And now, let's cut. Now, if you're new to glass, cutting it may seem intimidating, but I promise it's not. In fact, this framing glass is probably some of the best glass to start out on. Some people find the sounds irritating. I personally find it soothing. It's like scratching an itch in my brain. Grinding is necessary to smooth out all the imperfections and prepare the glass for foiling. Have my pieces cut out. They match together perfectly. And here is an important note. Most stained glass artists will already know this, but if you don't, make sure the texture side is going to be on the outside. You don't want the texture sitting on the inside. It'll never fit together or sandwich together perfectly. So, textured outside. Such beautiful glass. I love that glass. Look at it. Also, very important. Make sure your glass is absolutely fingerprint free or any debris free. You don't want that showing up once you get all your flowers pressed in and soldered. You just can't go back and fix that. But now we are going to arrange our flowers. I'm simply just recreating this. You can do anything you like, any way you wish. Now you have to glue the flowers down in order to keep them in place when you're sandwiching your glass together and then foiling it for soldering. You can't use super glue. Super glue will fog your glass. One of the options, and probably the most affordable and easiest option, Elmer's glue. I just use a little toothpick. You take a tiny little bit right here. All you need is enough to get it to stay. That's it. You don't need to glue the whole piece down. You just need enough to get it to stay. I'm going to glue all these pieces down and then I'll show you the copper foil process. I am losing my daylight and I hope this all looks okay. We are all glued down, looking gorgeous. And now it's time to add our clear piece of glass on top without touching the inside of it. I'm gonna go ahead and trim those bits off. I went ahead and went with my original way that I do this. I recommend using clips to keep your pieces in place while you copper foil. Personally, I prefer 1/4 inch copper foil to tape the pieces together just along the edge, and then using the 1/2 inch so I can get even sides on each side of the glass with copper foil, if that all makes sense. I hope it does. So now, without having to juggle the 2 pieces shifting together, I can just focus on placing my copper foil, my 1/2 inch copper foil appropriately. and evenly. Now we just need to burnish our edges. We're all copper foiled, and now it's time to solder. Don't forget to flux appropriately. I'm just going to start out by tinning my edges. The solder will build up once I start doing my edge beading. Now it's time to start the edge beading. I just started tinning and then worked on the beading. Now because of how thick this is, it's going to look lumpy on the sides and you're gonna have to do some touching up. And all I do is I just lightly touch the edges here. And I still have my soldering iron set at 360. All finished. Solder ball time. Or if you just want to call it decorative solder, that's fine with me too. Party pooper. On this piece here, yeah, they're not perfect. I am still new at doing decorative solder. Let me show you how it's done. And I already started working on the solder balls. The reason why I started doing that is because it's really hard to film and do those at the same time. I did most of it. I will do a little demonstration of the rest of it. So first things first, you gotta make sure you've got a lot of flux on there, so those solder balls will stick. The next thing is make sure your soldering iron is super clean. Clean that tip off, get it in the tip tinner really well. When you drop the solder balls, you want them to fall right off of the corner of your soldering iron. And you want to be consistent on how much solder you grab. And you just touch it ever so slightly if you have enough solder on there. That's simply not enough. So I'm just going to build on the ball. You just want to lift up quickly. Now you don't have to do decorative solder. You could have just called it good once it was all soldered together, but I like the way this looks. We have all our solder balls down, and now we need to attach our jump ring, what we connect a string or a chain or whatever to. Then we're going to clean it and patina it, polish it, and we will be done. I have here just a simple little pre-made jump ring. We have a jump ring. I'm gonna go give this thing a scrub, and now we're all clean. It's time to patina. We're gonna do black. Look at how black that is. And it's time to polish. I'm not too particular about polishing. I either use Clarity or Pledge. Either one is good. This one maybe does the better job. Takes a little bit longer. For this video's purposes, we're gonna do Pledge. Now we just need to attach our chain. I'm not gonna bore you with that. It's just simply attaching a chain. I need to find me some new chain. I went ahead and patinaed this chain and it looks so grody and nasty. I need to find something that matches my black patina. But for now, we'll do this. I'll be right back. And just like that, we have preserved flowers forever. There are so many fun things you can do with this. Different colors, different shapes, different flowers. I'm going to have social medias up and running here very soon. And I would love to see the different variations you produce. And as I mentioned earlier, I am going to be doing my first pop-up market. It is July 11th, and if you are in the Western Washington area and want to come check out pieces like this or others that I have made, or simply just want to come say hi, maybe even take one home, I will link everything down below. Happy creating.